give a kind of an introduction, Eric, and I'll hand it over to you. So welcome to the webinar, Taking TIG Welding to the Next Level, Superior Gas Coverage for Quality and Efficiency by EDGE Welding Cups. We have Eric Mueller here, owner-president of EDGE Welding Cups, Daniel Adams, fabricator, chassis builder, CT Raceworks, a fantastic UTV shop. Some companies in the racing industry have a kind of a single great idea, but it's not necessarily easy to do, but they find a way to do it well. And the racing industry gets the benefit. And if you're doing welding, for those reasons, you just have to be aware of EDGE Welding Cup. You just have to be at this webinar. You have to look at ePart Trade and the showcase, see what they have there. I'll just read their company description. EDGE Welding Cups are the most premium line of scientifically engineered Pyrex glass TIG welding cups in the market to date. Each of their welding cups, diffusers, and adapters are expertly designed. EDGE Cups provides exceptional performance and offers superior visibility for GTAW TIG welding projects. EDGE Welding Cups are extremely durable, high quality, high temperature cups that offer incredible potential for the welder. With over 35 years of scientific glass blowing experience, brings many capabilities, allows EDGE Welding Cups to offer the widest range of sizes and shapes for a large variety of torches, both gas lens and collet body applications. And if you're not finding a specific cup size or in need of a unique cup for a special job, EDGE specializes in creating custom cups to fit your necessary specifications. So Eric, glad to have you here. It looks like we have something fun going on. What are we up to, Eric?
Well, good morning. We're going to do a little bit of a different kind of presentation this morning. We actually have Daniel Adams here with us this morning. Like you said, he's a master chassis fabricator. And then we've also got Jeff Enthusiast behind us, and he's actually going to be doing some TIG welding at the same time using some of the EDGE Pyrex cups. And at the same time, we're here at CT Raceworks. And CT Raceworks, what they do is they actually specialize in building chassis for UTVs and all kinds of off-road and body armor and whatnot. So this is actually, we're sitting here in a production shop. And so it's a little bit unusual. We're not sitting just behind a computer and in a clean background. So you might hear some bangs and clanks and whatnot going on around us because they actually shut down production today so we could do this and spend some time with you, showing you what our product line is.
Fantastic. We'll carry on. Show us the product line.
Okay. Again, my name is Eric Mueller. I'm the president and owner of EDGE Welding Supply. We're located in Mooresville, North Carolina. I'm here with Daniel Adams. Again, he's a master chassis fabricator. He's one of the guys who creates and makes ideas come to life for the UTVs. And on top of that, we've got Jeff behind us, and he's actually going to do some welding so that we can see how the product turns out at the end. So he's going to be welding on an A-arm today, and he's going to show us what can actually be done and what the advantage of the EDGE Welding Cups are. So I'm going to let Daniel do a small introduction to CT Raceworks, kind of give a description of what they do and what they specialize in, and then we'll get into our actual product.
Fantastic.
So, my name is Daniel. I work here at CT Raceworks. Been here for roughly 3 years. We've been in business for 13 years. The business was started by Alex Reed, and he's really built one of the leaders in the industry. We build everything from King of the Hammers cars to short course cars to Best in the Desert cars. We also do a lot of play UTVs, from roll cages to suspension setups. We do offer one of the strongest suspension setups for the Can-Am X3. And I'll grab one right now. And this is what Jeff is welding right now. This is a full tubular A-arm, inch and a quarter, 4130, 120 wall, fully TIG welded, ERADS D2. We take pride in sourcing everything in the US, from our filler to our metal to the process. Everything is made in-house. Yeah, that's.
So Daniel is actually one of EDGE brand ambassadors, and Jeff is also. And what they do is We like their expertise because they're actually using the product, and what they do is they give us real world feedback on our product, which then allows us to redevelop and improve our product on a daily basis, basically. And so him and another team of people that we put together who are actually experts in all different industries, everything from racing to nuclear welding to just all kinds of crazy stuff. We just built everything for everybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get into our product line, because people should be somewhat familiar with gas tungsten arc welding, TIG welding, more commonly known. And so what we have is we've got our product line here in front of us. It's everything from somebody who's using a gas lens to somebody who's using a collet body, things with monster cups, all the way down to basic setups. We have it all. So what we've done is we've taken the pink ceramic cups that people normally use. And what we've done is we've taken that whole line and redesigned it into glass. The reason that we put it into glass is because it allows you to do what Daniel and some of these other guys are doing, and it allows them to be able to see through the glass at the same time, whereas pink ceramic, you get into a blind corner and you can't see what you're doing. So that's where our basis was to begin with. Then what we did was we came out with a larger design cup, and these larger design cups, it has what we call our diffuser technology. Our diffuser technology actually takes the gas as it's coming out of the torch, and it makes it more into a perfect laminar flow. And why that's important is because it actually covers the gas pool, or the weld pool, better. And that's what you're trying to do, is push your oxygen away from the weld pool, and that's what keeps it clean. So with the diffuser technology, it's kind of like, let me explain it this way. It's like if you have a faucet in your kitchen or your bathroom, and it's got a small, basically a diffuser on it. And what happens is you put that diffuser on, and all of a sudden the water comes out straight. Well, you take that same aerator off, and the water just kind of tumbles out and it boils out. And that's the same thing that's happening, with the difference between using our diffuser technology and not. A lot of people will use just a gas lens. The gas lens is okay, and it does well compared to a common collet body. With a common collet body, you've got four holes in a collet body, and what the gas does is it comes out, bounces off the walls, and then it kind of tumbles out. Well, as it's tumbling out, it actually collects oxygen at the same time, and then redeposits that oxygen onto your weld. So what we wanted to do was come out with a way that would actually push the oxygen out instead of collecting more oxygen and then redepositing it. A lot of times when you're on Instagram or Facebook or whatever your common social media is, you'll see guys that have these beautiful welds that got different colors on them. And where they're coming up with that is because they're actually coming up with good gas coverage. And that's difficult to do, especially if you're in a working shop like this.
Yeah.
Because a working shop, as Daniel can attest to, you've got airflow coming from different directions, or you've got different contaminations. And so that's where the good gas coverage comes in handy. Anything to add?
So that's the biggest thing about these cups is in a tube joint, when we're deep into the corner, we have a big stick out of our tungsten to get up there. With the laminar flow, we do have shop doors open all the time. We do have an exhaust fan system. So with this cup setup and their new diffuser technology, we're able to focus the gas flow into that corner, so we don't get crossing our welds or a bad weld per se.
So what we did was we came out, because there's so many different designs of torches, we thought you can't just have one setup for only one kind, because you've got guys that are just starting to learn. You've got guys that have been welding for 30 years. And so we needed to have a product that was good for everybody. So most of the time when you buy a new machine, it's just going to come with a basic torch like this, and it's just going to come with a basic collet body. And some of the guys, depending on where you're at in the world, they're okay with just using that. So we went ahead and came out with the cup system. It's basically the same as a pink ceramic, only it's glass. It allows you to see through the cup, and it works the same as a pink ceramic would. Then we thought, well, why not make one for a gas lens for the same torch? So we went ahead and came out with a full cup line on that one also. Then we got further into it. See, my background is actually in glass blowing. My background is not in welding. And so that's the reason that I needed to bring more experts in to help advise me, because I knew I could build the product, but I wasn't sure what people actually wanted. And so in order to actually supply the customer with what they want and not what we think they want, that's the reason that we have people like Daniel, so that he can actually advise us on better ways to go. So that's when we came up with the full design on, so these are for a gas lens 17 or an 18 torch. These are a WP World Products 17 or 18 torch. This is the same torch. This is a World Products 17 or 18 torch. The only difference is this one is collet body, this one's a gas lens. Then we came out with our 9 series, which is for a WP9 or a WP20 torch. And we were discovering as we were designing that there was more than just your standard cups, your standard short cups. We were discovering that there was more of your longer cups. And then on top of that, because we have a full glass blowing shop, we actually do a lot of scientific glass blowing. And so we know the technical side of making it, but we were discovering that there was a lot of guys out there that were in specialty areas, not necessarily just the racing areas, but what we're finding is a lot of these guys have hobbies that include racing, but outside of the racing, we've got guys that are out there and they're actually doing more like nuclear welding or orbital welding, or they've got a company out there that has other needs. So what we started doing was we started coming out with custom products, and our custom product line has just gone crazy because you can't get that with ceramic. Because with the ceramic cups, what you're really limited by is the cost. Because with a ceramic cup, you have to come up with a mold, and they have to mold it together. Well, for them to come out with one mold for 5 cups is just not cost effective. It's going to cost you thousands of dollars to have one cup made. Where we can go into our shop, we can actually take the material, we can put the material together, we can mold it to however people want it. It's cost effective, it's a lot less expensive, and we're actually dealing with a lot of companies that are actually in the nuclear field. We're dealing with medical, we're dealing with a lot of other industries besides just the racing. But what we're doing, we're focusing on the racing. Yes, sir.
Eric, we're getting questions from the audience, and you can just go to the chat option at the bottom of the Zoom screen and type in a question. We've had 2 requests to see the product up close. Is there a way you can just bring something towards the camera and show one of the welding cups?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, that's what we're talking about right here. Very good. Okay, I'm getting this very good. Okay. All right. Thank you for suggesting that. That was a brilliant suggestion. All right, there it is.
And you can actually see our diffusers are independent from the cups, and so they can be replaced also. And we've actually got different sizes because not everybody uses the same size tungsten in their torch.
So this is another one that they make.
Very good. Okay, we're seeing that one very well. That's very helpful.
So that cup actually gives you an idea of some of the custom product that we can make also. And like I said, it's not necessarily for the racing industry, but we've got a lot of guys that do things outside the racing industry also. But we came out with things all the way from a number 4, which would, with the welding cups, they're measured in 1/16 inches. So that's how they come up with the number system. So number 4 would be a 4/16, number 5, 5/16, all the way up. And what we've discovered is that you've got guys that are doing titanium exhaust, for example. And what they're really needing is they're needing good gas coverage with titanium. So what we've come out with is we've come out with the number 18. And we did a lot of scientific
Very good.
analysis with the number 18 and a number 12 and so on with our diffuser technology. And we've actually partnered up with the company that actually does a lot of orbital welding. Well, this company is really big and they've got a lot of resources. And what they did was they helped us to actually modify and improve our diffuser technology so that it is actually the best diffuser technology on the market. Right now, you can't get anything better than what we're offering. And we've got everything from, like I said, your small basic cups, all the way up to your monster, your bigger cups, like we have here, what we call our flooding cups, because it just floods the whole area. We've also come out with some different kind of cups for guys that are actually making chassis. And we came out with a narrow cup, a narrow series. And what this is designed for is this direction, you have a number 6 cup. This direction, you have a number 12 cup. So if you've got 2 tubes that are coming together at a tight angle, and you don't necessarily want to flood the whole area with a big cup, you can actually focus your gas more into an area like this. Let me see if I can get out of the way here.
Yeah.
So you can actually focus your cup into that area. The other nice thing about us is that if a guy runs into a situation where a cup is too long, because we make everything in-house in our shop, we can actually modify our existing product line too to meet up to what they need.
Okay, Eric, we have a very good question, very practical question from the audience. What does a cup look like after use?
So I saw that question and I went over to my personal welder and I pulled off a cup. I ran this cup for about 2 weeks now. It's a 15. It is my favorite, but it does get a little dirty. But that's about it.
That looks great.
So what we did afterwards is we ran into a problem with guys that are welding aluminum, and some of the guys that are welding heavier aluminum, these cups are actually made out of Pyrex. So what these Pyrex cups are, it's like your wife's kitchen dishes that she's got, that she bakes a casserole or whatever at home. Pyrex is a brand name. And so this is actually called borosilicate, is the technical name for it. And the borosilicate is good up until you start welding aluminum. And aluminum gets so hot that the Pyrex doesn't hold up well if you're welding for long sections. Now, if you're doing shorter sections, what we found is the Pyrex is okay as long as you're using a larger cup, like a number 12, maybe a number 10, 12, 15, 18, because what you're able to do with our diffuser technology is you're able to push your tungsten further out away from the cup, and then it keeps that heat away from it. With our diffuser technology, it actually, because it comes out in a laminar flow, it actually comes out in a stream, it still covers that same tungsten. And we've had guys testing all the way up to 5 inches of tungsten stick out. And I'll repeat that, that's 5 inches of tungsten stick out. And anybody that does welding with TIG welding knows that tungsten should not be stuck out 5 inches when you're welding.
Correct.
So most guys are used to a ½ inch, an inch of tungsten stick out, and then you're ending up with problems. We're welding with some of our companies, with orbital especially, 5 inches of tungsten stick out. So what we did, let me get back to what I was saying. What we did was, for the aluminum welding, is we came out with a quartz line. So the Pyrex, the borosilicate cups are good to about 950 degrees. And as long as you're not walking the cup, and as long as you're welding on steel, as long as you're welding on Inconel,
Titanium,
exotics,
stainless,
you're okay at that point. But when you're welding on aluminum, it just gets so hot Especially I've had guys that are welding on semi-trailers and things like that. So what we did was we came out with a full line of quartz cups. The advantage to the quartz cups is that they're good to about 2,500 degrees. So the quartz cups will handle so much more heat. Now,
another question, Eric, is how do you clean glass cups? Is that an issue? Is that pretty easy?
yeah, it's easy. You just buy another one.
I've used denatured alcohol to clean the glass cup. If I do have an issue to where I do have, like on my quartz cup, I've had an issue to where I dip the tungsten and cause a soot blowback, I'll actually grab some alcohol or a small little bit of acetone and clean the soot out of the cup.
It's not hard.
It's not hard. No, it's not.
No, the worst thing is because guys don't properly clean their weld.
Right.
And a lot of times when you don't properly clean your weld, you end up with metal that pops. And when it pops up on the Pyrex, it'll actually adhere itself to the Pyrex.
Yeah.
And so you'll end up with a small divot in the cup, but usually a lot of times that'll just wipe off. And it's just like the pink ceramic where it becomes discolored. Now with the quartz cups, because it's such a high temperature, even if it pops, 99% of the time it's not going to stick to the cup because it's so much higher temperature.
You can actually see on this cup, I had some aluminum blowback right here, and I just stuck my finger in there, and you could just peel it out and get rid of it and then wipe the cup down.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I saw everything there.
So we came out with what I was saying earlier about the tungsten and the tungsten having different sizes. The most common size that we run into is guys that are using 1/16, 3/32, and 1/8. So what we did was we actually came out with a size specific diffuser technology for each of those sizes. So we have one for 1/16, we have one for 3/32, and we also have one for 1/16. The reason is because we're trying to eliminate as much blow by through that center hole as your tungsten's going through there, and so that you can actually get as much gas coverage coming through the screen as possible.
So that's the 1/16 diffuser. And then this one here is the 3/32 diffuser, and you can actually see the difference.
Another question from the audience. If you, do they crack or shatter if dropped?
It's the same as the pink ceramic. If you drop a pink ceramic cup, it's going to break also. What it really comes down to is how rough you are in your stuff.
Right.
If you're constantly crashing your stuff into something, or if you're constantly dropping your torch, it's going to break. It's glass.
But I've dropped the torch and the cup has survived, so it's really hit or miss. It depends on how hard the actual impact is on the torch.
So part of the reason, and you actually bring up a good point, part of the reason that we came out with the borosilicate is because it's laboratory glass. The laboratory glass will take a bigger impact, and that's the reason that they use it in a laboratory. Now, the quartz has a disadvantage that it is a little bit more fragile, but the temperature is so much higher. As long as you're doing like Jeff's doing and you're working and you're taking care of your product, then it's going to last longer. We've got guys that use it for a week and they break it. We've got guys that use it for 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months and they still have the same cup. So really,
this is going fantastic. We got about 1 minute left, and then we're going to have to start going on to the other event. So do you want to kind of wrap it up at the end here, Eric?
Yeah, I can. I'm going to actually have Jeff bring over his product so that you can actually see the weld that he's been welding with. And you can actually see the quality that you're going to end up with using the product.
Have him bring it up to the camera. There we go. Okay, I'm seeing all that. Very nice. You're sharing it with the worldwide racing industry. Thank you very much. Any last comments to wrap it all up, Eric? They can find you at epartrade.com. They can find you on the Edge Supply website. And I really think it's a cool idea. And then you move the company to Mooresville, right? Just to be in racing.
Yeah, we're right in the center of racing industry right here.
Yep.
One thing I am going to do is I'm going to give a shout out to Adam Reed and thank him for allowing us to have our webinar here at Alex Reed at his shop at CT Raceworks. Again, you can find them at ctraceworks.com
or Instagram at CT Raceworks.
And then also, yeah, like you said, you can find us at edgeweldingsupply.com, sales at edgeweldingsupply.com. You can find us online. Our phone number's on there. And you can also find us on Instagram and on Facebook.
Well, thank you for being part of Online Race Industry Week. I think you just have really hot products. And I'm really glad we might have introduced a few people to EDGE Welding Cups. And that's kind of our mission because I'm a believer. So thank you for being part of Online Race Industry Week.
Registering on ePartrade is easy. Fill out your name, email, phone number, and create a secure password. Next, select your business type. Choose supplier if you're looking to display products or services and connect with buyers. Choose racing business if you're looking to find new parts and connect with suppliers. Choose race team if you own or are a member of a professional racing team. Begin typing your company name. We most likely already have your company in our database, which you can select from the drop-down. Then, enter your job title. Choose Claim Company if you'll be editing your company profile. Other members of your company can choose Join Company if they'd like to use ePartrade as well. You can view and agree to our terms of use here. If you'd like to receive our weekly newsletter, choose Accept. Click Register Now, and your registration will be submitted for approval. You'll need to confirm your email once it goes through. To keep our platform industry only, you'll be approved shortly after. If we require additional proof of business, we'll reach out. Welcome to ePartrade.